I think there's one business that's open in my strip mall, and that's the gym. That's the gym. They leave it open, and so whoever, people that have the keys, they'll just go in and work out. So, but I think you still need a staff there. You don't just show up and just start working and stuff. Um, yeah, that's what I think. Let's see if I can stretch this out. Well, I hope you guys are safe. This wasn't as well. Depends on what part of the world you are. Whether it wasn't as worse. It wasn't as bad as they made it out to be. And we also have to accept the fact that since I was a kid, they've sensationalized tragedies. Not tragedy, but but you never know when that one is going to be the worst. So it's such a mixed bag, man. You know that they do this, right? So what do you do? Do you just say, I'm not gonna listen to them? Do you do that, or do you just just in case? Just be prepared, right? Because you just never know. You just never know. All right, I think I'm set. All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to move the camera up a little bit. All right, you know what? Yeah, let me move it up just a little bit here. Hold on. I was like, what the hell kind of production is this? What kind of production is this? You can actually see him moving the camera. How's that? How's that? Let me see. Are we good? Yeah. She's cutting off the top of my head, right? Like, dude, you're supposed to do this in post production. I don't have that kind of team, folks. Yeah, that could do. This way you can still see what I'm doing at the same time. That'll work right there. Yeah, that's fine. Let's back it up a little bit. Great. Okay, so today's topic: simple versus complex. What do I mean? What do I mean by that? Okay, so you're going out there to buy a vacuum, right? You're going out there to buy a shampooer. Okay. For the guys who are on vertical, you can't see the other side of me. The one over there, I will never ever be a winter person. Nope. Not happening. Never. All right. So I have two streamings happening, right? I have one where you're going to be able to see the overhead version of this, and then the vertical on this side over here. Then this side, I get to share stuff on my screen on the studio. So, but yeah, this was a meme I saw yesterday or something. I said, oh man, let me clip this. I think it's from some Facebook meme, mermaid musings. So I give credit to those guys for this. All right. Okay. Let's see what we have cooking here. All right, let's get the overhead going. All right, so when I say simple versus complex, it's nothing too it's not deep like that. But really, honestly, when you're buying cleaners, right, or washing machines, some of the things we can't even avoid. Gentleman came in here last week and he said that he purchased a washing machine 2 years ago. I think the set was like over $2,000 or something, and he says, "Man, holy cow! It cost me $1,000 to get it repaired." He said, and it has a lot to do with some circuit and some one of the sensors and etc. That's doing bad. They had to bring a guy in and all that good stuff. Cost him $1,000. And he said, "It's crazy because I've had washing machines and refrigerators that lasted 20 years without that kind of trouble." And I'm like, I don't know if you can avoid that now, right? I don't know if you can avoid it, honestly. And it's not even that you blame. You can, But what's that going to do, right? You can blame the corporations, you can blame, you know, the companies and all this other stuff, but you're still going to have to buy from somebody, right? And we still have to have a sense of trust in the people that we're buying from, right? But at the same time, as humans, we're not going to get out of our own way, you know. Like think about the guys, you know. Let's go back to primitive man, right? And some people might take offense by that, but just bear with me, because we don't have time for feeling type, you know, getting offended and all that stuff right now. I'm trying to explain a point. So the guys had like basic ways of hunting and killing, right? Protecting themselves, right? They had a club, a stone, or whatever. That was simple, right? Simple enough. And then they got spears, and then they got arrows and bow and arrows. And now look how complex the bow and arrow is now, right? With it's probably, it can go further, it's stronger, but it's more complex, right? I'm sure there's some digital stuff now. I haven't messed with them. You have crossbows, you have other stuff going on. You have now killing weapons, you got guns, you have even more complex guns, and etc. Things are just going to continue to go. We used to just shovel the dirt out the way, and now you have robot, you know, stuff to do and the whole deal. So we're not going to stop that. You know, we went from walking to riding a donkey, riding camels, riding horses, riding elephants. Now you got electric cars that drive you know, autonomous vehicles. So I don't think we're going to get out of our own way on that one. We're going to trip over ourselves as we continue. That's just what it is. So what do you do, though? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer a question for a guy that asked about a shampooer. And I'm going to do my best to, I've already covered this in a previous video, so he's going to have to really go through some of my other videos. But in order to give an option on the Bissell shampooer, the option is a clean shot, where if you step on the back right of it, and there's a little step button you press, it can shoot a pre-treater into the carpet. Now, what I used to do when I did pre-treaters, I would get a spray bottle with some solution in it. You can do it too. But that means that means you're gonna have to move from around the machine, right? Grab your little spray bottle, right? And squeeze it, okay? Hold on, let me turn this thing off, and squeeze it. Hey, what's up? Hey, Robert. No, it's not Robert. Rob Edits 214. What's up? 2014. So you have to go and squeeze it and spray it, right? And then scrub it. It takes a little extra effort, and we've grown increasingly that we don't want to do the extra effort. Now, is that good for us? No, it's not really. We should do more work. We should be more active, right? But we're not going to get out of our way, okay? So this clean shot, to make it so you can just step on that pedal, shoot the water into a little spot, and you don't have to move, and you don't have to go on and spray, right? Is it better? No, I don't think so, because for me, it's better if I put my little solution in here, which you probably can't do too much crazy solution inside of a Bissell shampooer. You have to keep it very simple. I can put my own little thing in here, go on my carpet, boom, 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 get a brush, scrub it out first, and then shampoo over it afterwards. I've always done it like that, right? Home remedies, some people would use Dawn, what you call it? Dawn grease cutter type, you know, formula. Some people mix peroxide with it. Some people mix vinegar with it and water, and they have their own little home remedy, and it can go, but you don't want to put that inside of your shampoo tank. Eventually, your pumps are going to get gummed up and all that stuff. So is it better? Right? Which is better? You know what I'm saying? The simple spray bottle, scrub it out, and shampoo it over, or, hey, I got this fancy machine that you can hit the back of it. And I'm not telling you not to buy the machine, right? But let me let you know what comes with that fancy machine. Okay, I'm a Bissell fan. I think they're you know, I'm a Bissell fan. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just talking, you know, what I've run into. So there's something called a stack. All right. Um, Let me see if I have one here. They're not sold separately. Do I have a stack? Do I have a stack? No, I don't. I don't have a stack. But I'm gonna explain it to you the best way I can. If I can use some drawing. Sorry that I'm off screen like this. I'm gonna give you a visual of what a stack is. It's a visual, but this is not a stack. But I'm gonna give you a visual. Golly, that's listen. That's how tough it is to get a stack. But it's not a stack. A stack is it looks a cylinder shaft like this on the left side of the Bissell. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a regular Bissell Revolution, and then I'm gonna show you how this thing relates to the stack. Give me a second. Let me grab my little Bissell Revolution. Ugh, I have it right here. Here we go. All right. If I can answer this person's what's his name, and I can big him up in the in the show. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find him. View all. Okay. Can I find him? Oh man. Sometimes they let you see it, and sometimes you're out of luck. Okay. Okay, this is oh gosh, where's my glasses? Where are my glasses, man? Hilkia, HILKIAH 6232. Hilkia. Hilkia. All right. Well, I've been back and forth with this person. They bought a Bissell Revolution. They got a good deal on it, which is good. Good that you get a good deal on it. But it's leaking. It was leaking on this side over here, right? Let me see if everybody can see. It was leaking over here. Okay. Now the Bissell Revolution Pet Pro doesn't have the Bissell Revolution Pet Pro have a stack right here. This is a plain Bissell Revolution. Doesn't have the stack. This is a simpler version. Okay, it's still not the simplest version. Bissell has an even simpler version. I think it's called a Clean View. All right, so they get more and more complex, right? But along with that complexity comes other issues, and just be prepared for that. So I'm not telling you not to buy these Dysons and the robot vacuums and all this fancy stuff with the sensors. I'm not telling you not to get them. I'm letting you understand that with those things come other issues. All right. So you have to, figure out whether or not you want to go down that road or keep it simpler. Now, there's certain things you're just not going to be able to have the option, like the way they make the refrigerators, the washer dryers. A lot of them are going to be a lot more complicated. They're going to have the Wi-Fi stuff. They have, all the different sensors when you have the instant, the water makers, and you have, what I mean? You have all the different lights communicate. And on a lot of these vacuums, when one thing fails, sometimes that one thing is an added feature. It destroys the whole system. So think about a stack, for example. A stack is an extra feature that sits right in the section of the Bissell that allows you to have pressure for the clean shot to shoot the water out rather than it just kind of comes out like you're peeing, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not just, but if that stack breaks, you're leaking all over the place and people can't use their shampoo. And that's just an added feature. That is not, you don't need it, right? You don't even need this pump right here, to be honest with you, for your hose. That's an added feature. To be able to use a hose to do upholstery cleaning. It's an added feature for a carpet cleaner. You get what I'm saying? If this is a carpet cleaner, shampooer, okay, anything other than carpet cleaning is an added feature. So when the added features start to malfunction and you lose functionality for your unit, ah, you know what I mean? That's not, okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of what I'm talking about. I'll give you another example with the shark. Okay, I think the shark is the what do you call that? The icon we use, the thumbnail. With the shark, the added feature of I'm able to turn my brush off and turn my brush on and leave it running so I can just use the suction for the hose, let's say. I don't want my brushes to be turning in place while I have it in the upright position. That's an added feature because not all vacuums have that, okay? But if that circuit board in that head or that micro switch that tells the motor to turn on when I recline the machine, if that micro switch fails, the brush doesn't work at all. That's an added feature. The ability for me to do this, when I recline it, the brush turns on, is an added feature. You see what I'm saying? Because with the Kirby, which can last you 30 years, right? With an Oreck, right? Some Orecks, if it's in an upright position, the brush is still running. If it's in reclined position, the brush is still running. So I don't the vacuum cleaner itself don't need that feature. It's a sales feature. It's to say, listen, man, guess what? You know why you should buy this one? Sales feature. You know why you should buy this one? Because, man, unlike the Kirby, right, or unlike the Oreck, right, if you put your vacuum in an upright position, the brush shuts off. The guy's like, yeah, yes, man. You don't have to worry about the brushes. And he never worried about it before. But now he's going to worry about it. You don't have to worry about the brushes constantly turning when you put it in the upright position. What? That's a good idea. Now, because you know what I'm saying? You never thought about it before, right? But now that it's done, right? You're saying, yeah, man. You tell your friend, man, I got this cool vacuum, man. When I put it in the upright, the brush cuts off. Oh, yeah? And when I recline it, the brush starts again. Oh, yeah? Yeah. No, I'm not bashing. I'm just saying that vacuums in the past, you know what I'm talking about. If you have a grandmother or an old school, you just turn the vacuum on. Oh, hey, the vacuum is running, and that's all we wanted it for. Okay? What I'm saying is these extra features should not stop the cleaners from doing their basic job. That's all I'm saying. Me, personally. Now, do I have the knowledge of how to do that? No, I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't. Hey, Sam, let me give you a call back, please. All right. I don't have the knowledge to do that, so I'm not really ragging on them. I'm saying that because they have the knowledge to do that, they probably should. That's all I'm saying. They probably should. Probably. So let's get back to the stack, and then I'm going to move on to the other thing. So this is what this individual can do, and I gave this person instructions as what to do. So this is what my reasoning comes from. If you have a leak on Abyssal Revolution Pet Pro, and you realize the leak is the stack itself, okay? Some people already got rid of the machine because they can't stand the fact that it's leaking. And they said, damn, dude, as soon as I put the tank on, the water spills all over the floor. What the hell, right? They're not happy about that. I wouldn't be, okay? So to them, it's broken, it's busted. You take it to a shop. If it's out of warranty, forget it. You're out of luck, right? You're going to have to pay, and the guy's not going to be able to properly fix it. You know why? Because they don't sell the part. So what do? I'm saying there's a way out, all right? The way out is, if this didn't need the stack, okay, then the Abyssal Revolution Pet Pro don't need the stack. That's all I'm saying. If this didn't need it, the Abyssal Revolution Pet Pro, hey, man, what's going on? Black man with a vacuum. Okay. I don't know. I guess black people don't have vacuums, Charles. No, dude, I've been selling vacuums since 1990, bro. But now I'm on the service end of it, But I don't think vacuums have anything to do with color, man. So, but it is funny, I guess. Right? I'm glad you're laughing. So here, let me explain this to you, right? But hey, if the knowledge is good, man, take it, man. Take it and run. Doesn't matter who it's coming from, right? I don't think knowledge have color. Can you imagine? Can you imagine black? This is black knowledge. White people can't use it. That'll be. I don't know. There are people that teach dumb shit like that, though. So I don't know. There are people that talk like that. Like math is white. you know, and these people believe it. But anyway, let's keep moving. But thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate it. Um, because the stack is not needed, this is what you do, folks. If you run into this problem, the stack is a white cylinder thing. It's not this, of course, and it has a tube coming in. Okay, that comes down. The tube that's coming down to hit the stack, it's the tube. It's this same tube right here. Okay, it's this right here. This is the tube for the hose. Now, the reason why, the moment the person put the stack on the not the stack, I'm sorry, the clean water on the shampoo, it bleeds out the stack, is because the moment you put the shampoo tank on the system, the water is going down to wait right here until you put your hose in here and squeeze the trigger. So the water's already waiting here. Even if you don't turn your machine on, even if you're not shampooing yet, the water runs down and sits here and waits until you insert something inside of you insert the hose. Okay? And then the water continues up the hose and it waits until you squeeze the trigger. That's how it works. Okay? So what happens is with the stack, the water now waits in the stack. Okay? The water's waiting here. It may still continue out to here and sit, but it needs this stack to create pressure so that clean shot can shoot out. And it has that kind of, it could do that. Okay? Now, do you need it? You only need it if the clean shot is that important to you. Okay? If the clean shot isn't important to you and the most important thing to you is to shampoo the carpet, then you don't need the stack. Got it? So what do? Okay, I say there's a connector. Let me show you what it looks like. It looks like this. You can get it from Amazon. You get a small one, plastic hose bar fitting. All right, look that up. All right, it's an adapter. All right, and this one, well, I have smaller ones. These are too big. Here's a small one. You get one of these. Okay? And you connect the hose that's coming down to the hose that's going to this. And pretty much it's going to end up looking like this. You put one hose in here and one hose in here, and you eliminate the leak. The only thing is, you may lose the. I don't think you lose it. Gosh, I wish I had one here in front of you guys. You don't lose your the clean shot. It's just that it's not powerful anymore. It kind of meanders out. It just pours out like at the very end of you urinate at the very end of it. It kind of goes. That's kind of what it's like. It don't have to push. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. And all you have to do then is put your little solution in your spray bottle and just go out and squeeze and scrub to pre-treat your carpet like regular. You don't need that. I just don't want to see people. They put $300 into these machines. It's out of warranty, and now you're stuck, and you're like, oh my God, the thing is leaking all over the place, and there's no answer because. And then if you go online, now you can try to repair the stack, but the stack have chambers, okay? And I don't know what to tell you about using epoxy and stuff like that. I haven't done it for me to tell you that if you do this, it's not going to gum up the stack, and then you may not have access to use your hose because you might seal it off. It might get all in places it's not supposed to get. So if you want to try that, that's on you. You know, give it a shot. And glue is just not the thing to do. Okay, all right. Glue's not the thing to do. It's 9:30. That means I gotta check my stocks. That's my little reminder. I gotta check the portfolio. um. Anyway, so I'm still laughing at that guy from earlier with the black guy with the vacuum. Too funny. Um, I wonder if that's what my customers thought. That's funny. You know what I mean? Like I guess you wouldn't expect. I guess you're right. You know, you're right. Okay, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. I don't know if funny is the word, but I guess you're right. So you walk in, right? You're expecting. I don't know. You call me. You call me on the phone. Hey, I want to come by. I want to bring the vacuum over to the shop. I said, all right, fantastic. You know, come on over. I'll see you in a few minutes. And then just imagine the person shows up, and then they see me, and they're like, "Oh, hey." I'm like, okay, you know, and they don't say nothing, you know, because it's like they're not say nothing. I had one guy say it to me though. I had one guy come straight out, man. He was like, "Yeah, you're not what I expected." I thought I was going to see an old white guy with white hair. So yeah. What's his name? Charles. Charles. Hey, man, I appreciate the laugh, bro, because that was, yeah, you're right. Oh my God, you're right. All right, next up. But see, so that's what you do, okay? So you get one of these, for those of you who are having this problem, and some people may never see this video and may never get the help from it. So what can I say? You know, it's not quite something you're searching for while I'm talking about this, you know. I might clip this section and maybe and specifically target this area, but I don't. Damn it, man! I want to have the stack in front of me. So some people may not understand exactly what I'm talking about. I'm trying to paint a picture, but damn it! I know I had one here. But again, it's not a sales product. It was really just for me to have to that I was looking at. Let me just see if I may look. If I have it, I'll be so happy if I find this damn thing. I really would. I'll be excited, man, because it's worth it's there's a lot of people who are having a lot of issues with this one piece, and it's just not for sale. And it's like, so what do I do? But if you get a visual of it, damn. All right, I'll make a different video. You know what? I can draw this. I can draw the stack. I can draw. You know, I can draw. I can draw the stack, guys. I can draw. All right. I can draw the stack. Let me use this box. Okay. Let me use this box. I'm going to draw the stack for you. And if my memory serves me right, it'll look just like what it's supposed to look. Okay. Okay, good. That's a good spot. This is what the stack looks like. All right. Okay. All right. If I'm right, now there's a port that comes in here. Let me see. And in the back of it, there's one that comes in the back. All right. And then I think there's another port that's at the top. Right? Something like that. Okay. So there's one at the top. Okay. And it's white. It looks just like that. One at the top. Now inside is like corridors inside, right? You can't see it though. So this comes in. This is what's coming in from the top. This is the hose from the top. The water shoots down. Then the water continues, okay, to the hose, right, to the pump, right. The water continues to the pump. So this water, agua, 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 and this here, agua, agua, agua. All right. Now, the only thing I'm thinking, I can't because it's not in front of me, so forgive me for this. I'm thinking the other side goes to the. I'm thinking the other side goes to the what do you call that? To the clean shot. That's what I'm thinking. Either that or it's a vacuum hose or something. But you can put this little divider now. You can eliminate this, okay, and then use this little thing here and connect these two tubes together and eliminate the stack altogether because, like I said, this didn't have it. It just went straight there, and it will operate just like Abyssal Revolution without the clean shot. All right, I'm done. I'm done. That's it. All right, that's it for that. Okay. All right, I was able to actually do a show today. All right, I'm actually going to do one a little bit later on for the backpack. It's gonna be an art thing. Working on the skateboard deck that I want to do, and it's mostly for like hang up art. It's mostly for like wall stuff. It's not really for skating. So it's not that kind of stuff. But I like doing it on the decks. I think they're cool pictures. So I'm going to be doing one a little bit later on and going through the process of that. Yeah, a medium mixture is going to be some acrylic paint brush work with the paint pens. A combination of both of those two. I'm gonna do. I may do a couple of them. I'm gonna do a couple of shows like that where I do some artwork. Drawing portraits takes too long for me to even want to do a show on that. I don't know, man. Who knows? I might do one where it's a series where I start. I don't know. I start at the eye, and then by the time maybe 3 months later, we're wrapping it up. Because it's a long process. It takes me like a whole month to do one of these things. I don't know if people can see it. It takes me a whole month to do that. It's a long process. I've always thought about doing like classes and things like that. But drawing, painting, those paint and sip type stuff, those are fast, paints. And painting is not my thing. So I want to do more of the decks because I want to develop that. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm doing with that. Right. But anyway, guys, that's it. I'm gonna wrap up today with that. Oh, one last thing. Sorry about that. One last thing about the simple designs versus complex. One last thing about that. I was just trying to answer this person's question, and that's why that took over the show. So I hope I'm able to help them out with that. The same thing with this. When you're buying a vacuum, the more options you get, let's say we have this Oreck. We have two different types of Orecks, right? You have three. They sold some cordless Orecks too. You have Oreck that looks a lot like this David. This guy is they came on the scene and they're copying a style, right? It's fine. You could do that. You have an Oreck that was like this, okay? Where the power switch was down at the bottom. That's a simple design, right? The ones without lights, even simpler. Okay, so as you go further into giving you more options, it becomes more complex. You need the wiring have to do more things, right? But the way these guys are set up, I'm not a fan of the Oreck design personally. I like height adjustments, but a lot of cleaners now are automatic, right? So they follow suit. I don't know, man. I guess I'm kind of stuck on that Kirby style stuff, man. I'll be honest with you. Even if it wasn't a Kirby, if it was that style, that's the style I would go with, where you can adjust down to the carpet until you get to your right height and you stop, right? I'm a fan of that. more than anything else. What the hell? Gosh, man. That's not for me, guys. Give me a second. I'm sorry about that. All right. Um, but when you have a problem with something like this, the problem is normally a belt, a brush, power switch, cord. Outside of that is a clog, right? Basic stuff. But when you have an issue with, let's say, a shark, okay, which I was working on this the other day, the more options we give you, like I have to replace this brush. You have a double brush here. That means along with this double brush comes, you have two belts. You have a belt on this side from here to the motor. You have a belt from here to here. You have the micro switch that's next to the circuit board over here that's telling this what to do. You have the lights and all that stuff. Just know that it's not that you shouldn't get these. It's just understand what you when you're stepping into these realms with these machines. The tendency is you're going to have more reasons for things to go bad, and when one thing go bad, the whole thing shuts down. Okay. So you buy the simpler machine. It's normally just like a Bissell. Bissell have complicated machines. Bissell have simple machines. The simple ones are the cheaper ones. Obviously, it's just a belt, a tank, a brush, a switch. It's not fancy. It doesn't look, like like you got the Dyson. You don't have that kind of. Oh my gosh! What the hell, man? Damn! Sorry, guys. It's somebody they're talking like crazy, and I thought I turned the volume off. Turn off.
Okay. Media will play loud.
Oh my God. Damn thing. You see what I'm saying? Because I used to just press the thing and hold it down and it'll give me a power off thing, and it doesn't do it like that anymore. It want me to talk. Can you turn the phone off, please?
Just to confirm, you want to power off this device?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So, okay. This is my last example with this. So imagine this, right? Imagine I want to power up my device. And I don't know, the mic isn't working. And this phone is waiting for me to power up. I'm sure I can go inside the settings and I can scroll down down to the bottom. And I think there's a thing there where I can turn it off. But I used to be able to just press a button and hold it, and then it will shut it off. And maybe I can do it with two buttons, maybe. Maybe if I press maybe the top volume button, maybe, and the power button at the same time, maybe it'll do that. But I used to be able to press one button and shuts it off. So the more options it gives you, the more complex it gets. If the mic was shut off and they can't hear me, then my phone would never shut off. Imagine you're stuck. Yeah, what do you call that guy? Those guys in the Thing movies, and your phone rings at the worst time, and you're hiding behind or what do you call that? The raptor in the Jurassic movies, right? And you're hiding behind a little thing, and your phone dings. And you're like, ah, shut off! Oh my gosh. All right, guys. So that's pretty much what I'm saying is, you're gonna have to take better care. You're gonna have to at least familiarize yourself with these machines. So the more complex you get, the more options you're gonna have, and the more possibilities for things to go wrong. So just be aware. So if you stick with basic, you're gonna have basic problems, right? And that's stuff: belt, brush, clog, stuff like that. You don't have to go fancy. Don't feel pressure to do it. Okay. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. Just I'm saying don't feel the social pressure to buy all this fancy stuff. Okay. And it's not even about money, because Kirby is like $2,000 or more. All right. So you can still buy a Kirby and it's simple, right? Who else is out there that's expensive? You have there's a lot of machines that's expensive, man. Ricars and Miele's and Sebos. There's a lot of expensive vacuums out there that are very kind of basic. Okay, so it's not about the money buying cheap. It's about, do I want to be in a situation where it's more complicated to fix and I can't find parts, or do I want like simple? And if you're worried about whether your friends know that you have a Dyson or not or whatever, that's the wrong reason. Okay, all right. So that's it, guys. I'm done. I'm done. What's good is that it's starting to warm up. All right. I hope you guys are good. I'm good on the road. and go conquer the world. Go do something great. All right. All right. Don't take excuses, but don't give any either. You know what I'm saying? All right. It's up to you. And don't let anybody convince you that you're a victim when you're not. Got it? Solve problems. That's what we do. You have it in you. And that's it. Guys, I'm going to catch you later. I'm going to catch you tomorrow. I'll have something else to fix. I have some more work to do today. And like I said, I may be back later on today on the same channel doing a little art project. I promised the backpack. That's the crew that normally meets up and we kind of hang out and chat. We'll be doing some artwork. All right. All right, guys. Peace and hair grease. That's one back in the Bronx. Peace and hair grease. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Stay positive, folks. I said that's too funny.
Yes. Yes.
I like it. Let's try this. 899. Whatever.